Welcome to Stocks in Motion, where we track the biggest market movers in real time using Elliott Wave analysis. Today we are focusing on Meta, Nvidia, and TSM, three major players that have been falling hard, just as we predicted in our December-January calls. Meta and Nvidia, the sell-off continues, but where's the next support? TSM, since we deep into semiconductors, we'll take a closer look at TSM's Elliott Wave structure and what it tells us about the sector's future. Are we seeing the beginning of a deeper correction, or is there a chance for a bounce? We'll break down Elliott Wave counts, key Fibonacci levels, and technical indicators to track the most probable path ahead. Let's dive into the charts. And we will start with Meta. So this was our call that we made way back in February 19, and even earlier before that we said on February 6th that Meta is approaching the end of its ending diagonal and it's gonna fall hard, and we projected this level 583. So it took only a month and a little bit for Meta to reach out this level, and this is amazing call. So Meta lost about 21% right now. But what does it mean and where it is going next? Let's have a look. So first of all, let's have a look at this micro chart. The last time we touched it, it was February 19th. Now we change it to March 10, and we'll go from here. So what we are seeing is, okay, let's switch that to 1 hour chart. So here is the perspective counts. So I will remove some unnecessary so that we are not cluttered here. So this is the perspective for the count. So let's adjust a little bit. So this was possibly wave 3, this was possibly wave 4, and we were talking about wave 5, potentially wave 5 here. So that's the perspective, and if this is wave 5, then it should be a diagonal, right? So something like this. So that's the possibility. We cannot reject it at this point. So now we are dealing with a big impulse, and for the perspective of the impulse, we might have now a corrective phase before we are seeing a bigger one. And I'm talking about this potential. So this could be wave A, B, and C here. For waves of this would be potentially wave 1 or wave A of a bigger correction. So let's put it here. So that's the perspective, wave 1 or A, and for us this would be wave 2 or wave B. That's the plan. So after this impulse, we might see a bounce which will take probably a couple of weeks to go there. However, I would like to say so. And this wave is somewhat bigger than normal, and also we have enough waves to count this as a potential wave 1, and I am talking about this one possible. So this could be wave 1, wave 2, wave 3 down there, and wave 4 and wave 5. That's also the perspective that we can keep in mind, and I'll put a different color on this and change the degree to this one to, so that we have alignment. So that's another perspective how we can have a look at this. So this wave is not finished yet, and we are not seeing any reversal signals at this moment. So these two remain the most probable path at this moment. But if we see a reversal, strong reversal, then we might be looking for wave B or 2, and I'll change it to the red path so that we have alignment here. Well, that's a short-term perspective. Now let's have a look at the bigger one. This is the most exciting one, and this is the chart that we've been tracking for a while. So what we are seeing here, first of all, this was the first wave wave 1, wave 2 in 2022-23, and wave 5. And if we look at this wave, it could be a very nice impulse here. So this potentially was wave 3. Now if we are looking for wave 4, and we'll get back why we are looking for wave 4, because this is a very strong candle formations, and Meta already lost 50 and 100 days moving average, getting closer to the 200. On the 3-day frame today, a very strong bearish candle, and the weekly closed with also bearish formation, and the most critical today was a big bearish engulfing on the 15-day frame. So technically it makes the monthly reversal here is almost a sure thing. Well, still 20 days and bulls can try to do something, but given the biggest candles, and particularly this one, 15-day frame, this is becoming more and more probable. Now let's return to this one. So we have wave 1, wave 2, wave 3 potentially, and now we are looking for wave 4. What the most typical retrace for wave 4 would be 2 possible levels. So this one, level 1, between 236, 0 through 36, or 0.5 retrace of wave 1 and of wave 2, pardon, wave 3. And another possibility is finding support at the area of level of wave 4 of a lower degree. That's let me put this particular rectangle here. So this is the two most typical retrace levels, and that's why we are putting wave 4 here, somewhere here. So, and now we need to monitor a microwave that we discussed earlier to see how it develops, how far it goes, and what would be the targets there. So this is potential for wave A, B, and C here, and I'll make it a little bigger. So this is, and also it changed the color. So that's the perspective for Meta for the next maybe a couple of months, but it is also possible that a couple of years. Well, that's what we are seeing for this big stock. Now let's move on to Nvidia. Nvidia is fairly much aligned with the candles that Meta is producing. However, I would say that this is a bit stronger because we're already seeing a curling 50 days moving average, which is ready to cross the 200 days moving average line. It's probably going to happen in the next week or maximum 2. So the 2-day frame will be closing with bearish candle, and if we look at the bigger one, 15-day, which closed today, it is a very strong candle, bearish candle. It's complete the entire engulfing of the previous one, and I would like to emphasize that this is potentially a tower top, big tower top on multiple candles, and we have a very strong technical support for both of these formations. Now let's have a look at some technicals. So this is our call on December 27th, when we said that Nvidia is forming an ending diagonal in one of the possible path, either blue or red, and for this case it needs to hit one more higher high and then it will be done. And our projection here was like 40% drop to 90.69. That was way back in December. So what happened? Exactly, it moved here, made a new all-time high, and after that it declined. And right now it's already off 32% of the top, and it's moving towards the target that we identified way back in December. So most likely this wave was a diagonal, wave 2, and now we are seeing the next wave is wave 3. So if we look at the micro chart, this is potentially what is happening right now. As I said, this was likely the wave 1, and this was wave 2. This is wave 1 as a diagonal, and we would be looking for wave 3 down there. And if we measure it, try to measure it with Fibonacci level, so this is wave 1 for length of wave 1, almost down here. So this is wave 2, so wave 3 would be somewhere in this area. That would be the target for wave 3. And these are just ballpark numbers. So somewhere between 95 and 78, between 80, this would be the target for wave 3. Once wave 3 done, we would be looking for wave 4, probably longer than wave 2, and then wave 5 somewhere down there, which would be either wave 1 or wave A, somewhat similar to what we just discussed for Meta. And once this is complete, we would be looking for wave 2 or B here. And today is March 10th, 2025. Well, that's the perspective for Nvidia on the short-term frame. And now let's have a look at another call that we made on December 29th. And this was a purely technical call. On the 10-day frame, Nvidia made a bearish MACD cross, and we ran statistical analysis and said that the minimum decline that Nvidia is going to make was 20%, average 49, and maximum 80. This was way back in 29th of December. So right now, Nvidia is down 30%, approaching the next target. So, well, there were naysayers saying that it's impossible for Nvidia to go below $100. Well, it's approaching right now that's double-digit prices. Nothing very surprising for us, for those who followed investing angles, and particularly for our subscribers who have the first time approach and the first time access to our charts and analytics that we post on our website, Investing Angles. Now, once we are in the semiconductor area, I'd like to have a look at TSM. We are looking for it occasionally, not regularly, but still it's an important stock, and it has a lot of value and a big share in the manufacturing industry. So what we are seeing here is fairly bearish closure. Last week, TSM lost its 50 weeks moving average, made a bearish cross, 8x20 EMA, and right now it is falling down. And today it formed a 15-day candle, strong bearish engulfing. So far, everything looks bearish. And this is our perspective chart that we discussed way back in January 27. And we said that this would be the target. So far, we're seeing that TSM is approaching this target. And the target, this was a diagonal, perspective diagonal, ending diagonal, and this would be a return to this level. So everything looks good, everything. However, there is this level, the green line, and this would be a very critical one. So if we look at the long-term perspective, let me make it a little bigger. So this is a 3-day chart now. So from the all-time perspective, if this wave crosses the level of top of wave 1, which I identified here, it will technically break or invalidate the impulse that TSM is forming upward, and we would need to consider some other count for this one. So the best possible outcome here would be an ending diagonal for and the higher high, but in this case it will be even a stronger return downward. So that's the perspective, and this is something that we need to be aware of, and we will be looking forward to monitoring it. Well, that's all about today's live analysis. So we confirmed that Meta, Nvidia, and TSM remain in strong downtrends, aligning perfectly with our December-January bearish calls. The charts suggest that more downside is possible, with key support levels still untested. If semiconductors and big tech continue falling, and we were discussing big tech in a couple of videos just in the last few days, so what does this mean for the broader market? We'll keep tracking these moves in stocks in motion, so stay tuned for our next update. Stay ahead with daily insights at investingangles.com. Join our stock and crypto subscription for just $10 a month, covering Meta, Nvidia, Microsoft, Bitcoin, and private Discord access. Follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Telegram, and Reddit for real-time updates. Like, share, and subscribe so you never miss a critical market update. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy trading.